Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And for the subject of, excuse me, for the subject of this video, I'm going to be discussing a classic science fiction movie. And we'll be discussing the 1956 Earth versus the Flying Saucers. And of course, yes, that was the actual title of this particular movie. And you can find this video, a video of this movie on YouTube as well. The Earth versus the Flying Saucers is a stereotypical science fiction movie in the 1950s. What I mean by that, it does have cheesy 1950s style special effects to it. It also has a stereotypical plot. What I mean by that is it's a typical plot of a 1950s science fiction film where aliens from an unknown planet, and well, I think they do mention a planet. There wasn't a planet in this, in this galaxy. There's another far away distant planet that comes to Earth and decides to destroy Earth, particularly in the United States. And of course, the reason for that is because the main character in the movie, who was a scientist, he he worked with the U.S. government. There was no NASA yet, or at least it was in the early days of NASA, where he sets up a satellite program for the United States government, and he was flying over this movie series like about like 11 or 12 satellites, and just when all of them got shot down out of the planet. I said, how can I explain that? And, at first they thought it could be another foreign government, uh, or it could be something that was something defective about the satellites, and the scientists trying to figure this thing out. And so the only way they can figure out is to shoot off the 11th one. It sounds like the effects from that movie outside. So excuse me for the noise. Um, so the scientist was just got married to his hot-looking wife. So it's going to the air base where they about to shoot off the 11th rocket, and they get encountered with a UFO, and they actually taped made an audio recording of the noise from the UFO. Well, of course, in those days they didn't call it UFOs; they called it flying saucers then. And they get changed to UFOs to the 1960s. Anyway, I didn't realize that the recording that he made was actually a communication from the aliens, telling him, don't shoot up any more rockets. And the reason why the aliens were against the satellites were shooting each one of them down, because they felt that Earth was going to use these satellites against, to spy on them. Which of course wasn't the case, and the scientists trying to explain that's not the case. We're trying to improve our communication systems throughout the planet. It's nothing, and to examine outer space. I'm a scientist. I want to examine outer space. My job as a scientist, my scientific curiosity, I want to examine outer space. And meanwhile, the aliens just didn't, they didn't believe that. They didn't believe that that's a bunch of baloney. And so shooting down the satellite, or layer satellite just went up. But they also decided to destroy the base, which for 1950s special effects was pretty realistic. And also you do see the aliens just like totally unbelievable robots. It's more like robots than aliens. People walking around like this metal suits with metal helmets on there. And yes, you do see like towards the end of this film what the aliens actually look like. And it's like the stereotypical alien. With the big head, with the big eyes, and a little nose, and a slit little mouth. And I mean, those are the type of stereotypical alien series that we hear from people who claim that got abducted. You get it from these movies, scientific, science fiction movies. Uh, anyway, the way that the scientists figured out, so how can we take these aliens out? I mean, they're kicking our asses. And they figured out a system to sent a signal from these big satellite. The only way that I could probably explain it to the satellite dishes, where it sent out a signal that will take out the spacecraft. So we use some kind of like a magnetic um, pulse to keep the ships up. If we can disrupt that pulse, the magnetic fields, we could take them down. And so, of course, that's what they use. So they run around these trucks and set up, you know, the these satellites, the satellite weapons, and took out these aliens. In the meantime, Washington D.C. gets its ass kicked. I mean, you see the Washington Monument get destroyed. You see the U.S. Capitol get destroyed, and then eventually you do see the aliens been taken down and stopped. Uh, Again, when we make a stereotypical movie of like science fiction film, it's just like like War of the Worlds, or even more recent, or the original War of the Worlds movie, 1953, plus Independence Day, which took place for 43 years later, 1996, where a scientist finds out or discovers a way to beat the aliens at their own game, and that's what happened. Excuse me. That's what happened in Earth vs. the Flying Saucers. So just about every one of these types of alien invasion type movies, you're always going to have some smaller than small scientists figuring out how to beat the aliens, and that's what happened in Earth vs. the Flying Saucers. Um, and this movie is very short. I mean, it's even shorter than War of the Worlds. It's about an hour and 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long. It's a very short movie. But I feel it's an enjoyable film. I do like those type of science fiction movies, but it's like I said before, it's stereotypical because it's always the scientists being the aliens. It's never the military being the U.S. military or the military from around the world being the aliens. It's always the scientists being the aliens, or devising a way to beat the aliens. I mean, it's always that way in these movies, and it's happening again in this film. And the only reason why I even knew about Earth versus the Flying Saucers is because 10 years ago, when Peter Jennings, uh, the famous ABC News anchor, in his last full report he did before he died in 91 that year too, he did like a 2 hour thing with UFOs. The UFO phenomenon, seeing is believing, and you can also see that show on YouTube. Uh, he did a popular fascination with UFOs in the early 1950s, and because of that, news articles were coming out, photographs of UFOs, plus of course then the movies started being picked out by Hollywood because it was an interesting topic. And of course, Earth vs. the Flying Saucers was one of the early. Well, it wasn't the first one. It was like one. It's like one of the early ones. I think like War of the Worlds or The Day the Earth Stood Still, or two or the first one. I think War of the Worlds may be the first one, first big budget UFO invasion movie. And then of course you had The Day the Earth Stood Still, which I haven't really seen the full of. Full. I've seen the bits and pieces, but not the whole movie. That's why I haven't done a review on The Day the Earth Stood Still. Yeah. Uh, but I have seen Earth vs. the Flying Saucers on television, and I've seen it on YouTube because I looked it up, see if it was on, see if it was on here, and it is on here. And I suggest you check it out, check this movie out, and it is an interesting film. It's a good movie. I'm not gonna say it was the greatest science fiction movie of all time. I'm not gonna go that far. But my pick is the original War of the Worlds, that's very far by Independence Day. But in terms of these alien invasion film, sci-fi films, but Earth vs. Earth vs. the Flying Saucers, it is a decent movie for what it was. True, most of the actors that was in it, practically, to me, unknown actors. Because I haven't seen any of these people. I don't recognize any of their names. But I do like I do like Earth vs. the Flying Saucers as an entertaining piece of science fiction. So let me review of Earth vs. the Flying Saucers. Again, it's nice to do a short video for once. Um, Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel. And please forward this video to your Facebook pages. And you can also not only check all my videos, including ones that are not movie or TV show reviews, on my YouTube channel. We will also go to Rally Seed. It's not my website. I was about to say my website, but it's not my website. And that's rallyseed.com. That's OWDY, and that's seed.com. That's the home page, website of the Rally Reviewer, Christy Moore, who does TV trash, according to TV Trash Guy. He does TV Trash, the P.O. Pizza Guy, the Wrestling Mark, he does all these great characters. Plus, also has other content on his website as well. I mean, it's not just me. He has other contributors to his website, and I suggest you check out all of his content, not just his TV trash videos or my videos. Check out all of his other content as well. And plus, also, of course, I check out all my videos on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.